Right, okay, anyways, we'll see what I can do about that later. What will we have a look at next?
Something on page 136.
Yeah, pick one. Any one you like.
Ten.
10? Sure. Can you read it out to us?
A sample of 30.
30?
30 windskins is tested for safety for a car company. In total, 2 of the windskins screens failed the test.
Okay.
Test at the 1% level, that the failure rate is better than 10%, where 10% is considered the typical failure rate.
Okay. This is chi-squared? Binomial?
Binomial.
Okay.
Start.
Yep. So here, our hypothesis is that 10% is 10%? Yes. 10% of windscreens fail. And the alternative hypothesis? Now, we have to actually look at the English quite carefully. Is it that I said, is it 1 or 2 tiles? Is it that I said that, at most 10% fail? Or how did I phrase it precisely?
In total, 2 of the windscreens fail the test. Test at the 1% level, the failure rate is better than 10%.
Better than 10%.
Yeah.
Better than 10% of the windscreens breaking is it less than 10% broke. So 10% of the screens fail, or alternatively that less than 10% fail. This is the non-special, null hypothesis, because this is kind of what you expect. This is the normal situation. This is actually the special.
One tail?
One tail, yeah. Yeah.
Rocket.
Good stuff. So we need to calculate the p-value, which would be the probability that 2, and what would be more extreme here? 2 or fewer. Yeah. So we need to go to our tables. We need to go to table 30. We need to go to p equals 0.1. And we need to go to x equals 2. And what do we get? 0. Really? That high? Huh? Really? That high? 0.411.
Excuse me. Why is it fewer?
That would be more extreme.
More extreme is.
More extreme basically means in support of the alternative. Is it 0.4144? Yeah. Okay, well that is bigger than 1%. It's bigger than 5%. Doesn't really matter. Here we do not reject.
And why do we use probability of 0.1?
I say it in the question to test at 1%.
It's hiding in between.
I told you that the standard that is used is 5%. Some situations, people use a smaller threshold, and doing that is what's called, you're being more conservative in your research. You're setting the bar higher to reject the null hypothesis. Yeah. Like, think about this. Rejecting the null hypothesis that 10% of screens fail, and that you're actually saying that it's better than 10%, that has big safety implications. So the researcher might want to be more conservative. So for you to reject the null hypothesis, you would need to be quite small here if you're using a 1% level. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. What else do we need to see?
There's the next one.
Which one?
There's a second binary. There's a G something. It's a chi-square.
Yeah, chi-squared. We can do a chi-squared. Which one? Did I not do 5 in class?
No.
Okay. Right, what's happening in 5? Yeah.
I'm sure that, let's try 6 because 5
He
is...
asked for 5. Give the people what they want. So go ahead. I can do 5 and 6. I'm not going anywhere, okay? So let's do 5 and 6 then. So Nikita, can you give us 5, please?
A researcher would like a representative sample of men and women from a population which is 60% male and 40% female. The researcher selects a random 25 men and 24 women. Should we accept or reject the hypothesis that the sample is representative? So
what's happened here is the researcher wants a sample of people that are representative of the population. So he randomly picks people, and he gets 25% men and 24% women, and he wants to make sure that these numbers, that his selection was random. You know, like take the extreme example. He got 50 men, for example, and 0 women. Would we reject the hypothesis that he sampled fairly and randomly? We would. It's a bit too unusual for that to happen, you know? First of all,
add up and then take out the percentage.
Yeah, that's, if you add those together, that's 49, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, this is what we observed, 25 men and 24 women.
Yeah.
What did we expect? Well, we expected 60% to be men. So what's 60%?
29.4.
29.4. Okay, and what's 40%?
19.6.
What is it?
19.6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's looking pretty significantly different to me, isn't it? Okay. Let's calculate the chi-squared. So that is 29.4 minus 25 squared over 29.4 plus 24 minus 19.6 squared over 19.6. What do you get here?
1.65.
I put the bigger number first. The sign doesn't matter when you square it,
Yeah.
so
1.65.
1.65.
Is it correct?
Yeah, that looks believable.
Mm-hmm.
Degrees of freedom?
1.
What? If you go to degrees of freedom 1 and the 5% column, what is the value?
3.84.
3.84. This is bigger than 3.84.
So not reject.
No. What am I doing, Stephen? Come on. This is less than 3.84. So do not reject. Okay, so we can believe that he selected fairly and randomly.
Now I feel too confident. Now I feel too confident about this topic to do the 6.
Okay. Well, don't worry. When it comes to the exam, you'll probably forget it. Right, we'll have a look at 6 anyways. Can I scroll down? Oh, was it 5% significance?
Yeah, there's always.
5. And degree of freedom 1.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry.
It's okay?
Yeah.
Right, read out number 6, please, Nikita. Thank you.
It's known as a leading digit in publications, books, and some stuff. Follow Bedford law. His law states that the digit 1 occurs 30% of the time, digit 2, no, 30.1 at the time.
The first
Digit
one's
2.
30.1.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's precise. Digit 2, 17.6.
Yeah.
3, 12.5.
Yeah.
4, 9.6. 5, 7.9.
You know what? I'll go underneath.
Oh.
5 is 7.9. Okay.
Yes.
6.
6.9.
Okay.
6 is 6.7, sorry.
6 is 6.7. Okay.
7 is 5.8.
7 as well.
7 is 5.8.
Okay.
And 8 is 5.1. And 9 is 4.6. And 10 is
No 10.
non-given.
It's just
yeah.
the leading digit. Now, this is actually this is a real law, believe it or not, Benford's law. If you were to take a newspaper, for example, and you look at all the numbers in the newspaper, and you just circle the leading digit. Do you know what I mean when I say the leading digit? The digit in the front of the number. So maybe you're reading a newspaper and it says 24 people got coronavirus and blah blah blah. 16 of them were tested positive, or whatever. Blah 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 blah. If you circle all the leading digits,
So
2 and 1 and so on, and put them in a frequency table, relative frequency table, you'll discover that you get these percentages. And these percentages are actually consistent for different publications. So it doesn't matter if you take a maths book, a newspaper, a magazine, they consistently follow these percentages, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So most numbers, well not most, but a lot of numbers begin with a 1. And then a lot of numbers, but not as many, begin with a 2, and so on. Now, believe it or not, this is actually one way that they can test if people made up the numbers on their tax forms. Because if they were real numbers that were generated naturally, they should follow this table. But when people make up numbers, then what happens is people tend to pick the numbers not according to this.
But smart people could make the numbers.
Yep. So that's why you need to be smart when you cheat on your taxes. You can't just make up any numbers. Okay, they have to be plausible. But a lot of people don't realise that actually numbers follow this distribution, this pattern. Yeah. Has anyone seen that before? This is new. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. So I probably in the question give you some numbers that.
Yes.
Yeah. So what do I tell you?
First one until 9 is 60, 30.
Are these numbers or percentages? Numbers.
Numbers.
60.
34.
Yeah.
25.
Yeah.
18.
Yeah.
14.
Yeah.
12.
Yeah.
10. 10 and 8. And as I understand for it up,
Yeah.
it will be 191.
191 is the total here.
Yes. And then we take out the percentage for each.
Yeah.
By
So
using
using the table here. So this is what we observed. What did we expect? We expected 30.1% of our 191 digits to be a 1. So what is 30.1% of 191, please?
57.5.
57.5. And you got the next one?
33.6.
Okay.
Then 47.75.
Okay.
And 18 I didn't count yet.
Okay. So 18 is 1, 2, 3, 4. 18 is 9.6% of 191.
Yeah.
Mo, are you getting us the next one?
Are you crazy?
Huh?
Thank you.
What's the next one, guys?
2, 3.
I'm out of the game for a second.
9.6% of 191.
18.336.
18.34 then, okay. And then 7.9% of 191.
7.9%.
15.089,
0.89.
okay. And then we're on to 6.7%.
12.797.
797, okay, so 12.8 then. And then
11.078.
08, okay. What are we on to now?
I think it's 5.1.
5.1 and 4.6 then, okay.
10.887.
Okay.
8.8.
Okay.
8.786.
Yeah, okay, 8.1, right. Ah, you know the story now, don't you? So what's the first chi-square calculation? 60 minus,
Is it wrong?
what's the last one? Is what? Ah, it's fine, we'll just leave it, yeah, okay. 10.7, is it? 9.7?
Wait, let me check.
Okay, no, it's 9.7, okay. So the first one is 60
Yeah.
minus 57.5 squared over 57.5 plus, and what's the next one? 34 minus 33.6 squared over 33.6, and then the next one would be 47.75 minus 25 squared over 47.75, and so on and so on and so on and so on. Did anyone fully calculate this out? No? I can't open the computer. If I had Excel, we could do it quite quickly.
I have done a mistake.
Which
the
one?
third digit, the percentage is like the expected value is 23.8.
Not
23.9,
47.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course, 47 is way too big. What should it have been?
23.9. 20. Yeah.
23.9. So
Yeah,
this one
my,
here.
My apologies.
No, it's okay. That one should have been then 23.9, and here should be then 23.9 then. Okay. Look, anyways, I don't think we need to go through this. You go here, you get a number, then you check if it's bigger or smaller. So just, we'll look up the table. Degrees of freedom here is 8. And so what is the value at 8 degrees of freedom? Yeah. Can you check someone? 8 degrees of freedom? What do we get?
8 degrees of
Yeah.
freedom. Well, 5%.
Yeah.
15.51.
15.51. Now in the answer, did I say reject or not reject? What was my answer?
Yes, when carrying out, we do not reject.
Do not reject. So what must have happened was the total we got was smaller.
Wait, is it number 6? Yeah, it's number 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So we must, We must have got a total that was smaller.
We don't need 2 decimal places, doesn't we?
It's okay. Yeah, it must have been, actually it must have been pretty small, because when I look at these, like for example, this one here is roughly speaking, it's 2 over 50, roughly, which is 4 over 100. Is that, roughly speaking, this is 4 over 50, which is about, it's about 0.1. The total must have been some number like 1 or 2. It must have been pretty small, whatever it was, because each of these is actually quite small. Right, like this one here is going to be roughly 4 over 33. I guess it gets a little bit bigger. So, yeah, maybe it ended up being like 4 in total or 5 or something. Whatever it was definitely less than 15.5. You know.
Let's do some small stuff.
Small stuff? Like what?
0 point something.
Was even smaller than that? Oh, it was very small then. Yeah. So I'll just say 0.5 then. Thank you. Guys, you're still practicing stuff at home, aren't you? You haven't completely given up on your maths, have you? What? Let me just take the attendance so I don't forget. We're missing quite a few people, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're missing Ishpreet, aren't we?
Ishpreet, Diana, Patrick, Umar, Hussein, Dasha.
Oh my goodness, slow down. Dasha, Umar, Hussein.
Isn't it easier to count who is in?
Yeah, it might be. Ishpreet, Diana, Umar, Patrick, Dasha, Hussein. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be here, that's right. There was plenty of space for you. Okay. But so, did that mean I missed one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No, so there's 10 of us, so that's correct.
Wait, are you not supposed to be here either?
Nope.
You're in the other group?
Yeah.
Dude, okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yes.
There should be 10 of you?
Yes.
So actually, I only have 4 students really here for this group. This is group 1 or 2?
But
2.
HS1 always ready to
HS1 is always ready to go, is it? Yeah.
Go where?
support you
Yeah, thank you.
in hard moments.
Ishpreet emailed me, Diana emailed me, Umar emailed me, and who else emailed me? What's the story here? Do you have like a big gap after this class or something?
Yes.
How long?
5 hours.
5 hours? What the
Because we
heck?
have individual tutorials, then
Yeah.
it's a 4-hour break,
Yeah.
and only me and Joshua have individual.
After
then,
this?
Yeah, and then after that we have chemistry tutorials.
Is this normally the situation on Wednesday?
I think it's for
Sometimes it's Friday.
How does this happen though? Sometimes it's Friday and sometimes it's Wednesday.
Winchester is always been Wednesday.
Now what I mean is,
Oh, yeah, but
is this going to be a situation every Wednesday that you have big gaps?
Probably.
It has been recently.
after the holiday,
What was keeping you busy on Wednesday beforehand? What class did you have?
academic skills.
And is that not running at the moment?
Yeah, we used to have academic skills.
Sounds good.
On Wednesdays? Joshua, I'm not serious.
What's he doing? Okay. When were you supposed to have the tutorial? What time?
After break.
After lunch.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
have you done?
Hmm?
What have you done?
So, okay. So I'll have to remember not to mark you absent later then. Better make a note of that.
Thank you.
Alex and Nikita, huh? Went to HS2. Okay. What's going on? What? What the? Are you like eating Chinese takeout from last night or something?
It's my food.
Yeah, but it's like, what is it, like chicken chow mein or?
Yeah, some kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like-
You made it yourself or it's takeout?
No, I made myself. I
Oh,
made
good
myself
man.
that.
Teacher, do you cook?
I do, but I'm so busy I hardly get a chance to. No, that it just looks like a Chinese dish. Like this was your takeout from last night.
No,
Is it Ukrainian?
Yeah.
It's expensive. No,
You went
what,
out-
What do you mean, like?
You had some drinks, you got some Chinese food, and this is the leftovers.
Who's taking drink?
Yeah, you're a
Chinese
minor,
food?
aren't you?
No, it's not the point. Who's drinking with Chinese food?
No. You have drinks, and then afterwards you have takeaway.
Uh-huh.
Don't you have this tradition back in the Ukraine?
People in Ukraine just drink.
Just drink? Alright. No takeaway? Alright. Okay, so we were talking yesterday about mid-semester exam. I should give you something at some point.
Can you give us like a 2 weeks head up?
I give you 2 week notice, yeah.
That's first of all, and secondly, we have a lot of coursework now. So
Yeah. What coursework are you doing at the moment?
chemistry homework. Also
Chemistry.
biology we need to finalize.
When are these to be finished by?
I don't know, like is this in
Next-
a month?
Next week?
Yeah.
Urgent.
I'm nearly finished. When's the Easter holiday?
That 1 week. Yeah.
It's 6 weeks away?
Yeah.
Or 5 weeks? 5 or 6 weeks? Oh, I'm feeling like you should do your mid-semester test before the Easter break.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe how about the week before the break?
No.
No,
It's okay.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight after. Is it-
No, because if people want to do study over the break, then they can know
Tam wstąpienie.
what to focus on.
If they and the break, the 20th April, we have to submit our chemistry. I think our chemistry or something is due
Before the break?
after the break.
After the break.
So-
Yeah. No, I think this will be better. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
We'll probably do it that week, okay?
No, bo tam się wstąpienie idę, także.
What's wrong?
No, just said that after
Means
the
it
day
will-
we have entrance exam.
Entrance.
Oh yeah, okay. So you're going to be focused on that during the break, right?
Which entrance?